Days of Our Lives, spoilers for the week of September 29th, October 3rd, reveal that Johnny DiMera will face some unfit daddy drama while Stephanie Johnson deals with an ex-nightmare. Rachel Black will also be on the verge of going wild, so let's discuss what's ahead on Duel. After sizzling together during the Blackout, Sarah Horton Kyriakis and Xander Kyriakis will have to navigate their next chapter. Will Xander and Sarah be willing to move forward as a couple again? Of course, Xander is lying about the fact that he really was the one who attacked Philip Kyriakis. That news is sure to blow up Xander and Sarah's potential reunion eventually. In the meantime, Gabby Hernandez could land on the hot seat if she's not careful. It looks like Gabby may get busted as the person who planted the bug in Xander's office soon, so that could stir up all kinds of trouble. Speaking of trouble, there'll be more corporate clashing since Xander and Philip seem poised to formally reject Tony DiMera's deal. Maggie Kyriakis wants the Kyriakis family to fight for Victor Kyriakis' legacy, so Philip and Xander may turn Tony down as they prepare for court. Next, Days spoilers say Stephanie will have to deal with the return of her ex-boyfriend, Jeremy Horton, who's taking a job in Salem and settling down there again. Jeremy was an abusive manipulator, but he may swear to Stephanie that he's changed and wonder if there's still a chance for them as a romantic duo. Alex Kyriakis may go into protective mode and warn Jeremy to stay away from Stephanie if he knows what's good for him. Unfortunately, Jeremy has figured out that Stephanie is the woman behind Anastasia Sands' debut novel. That's going to make Jeremy latch onto Stephanie even more, since part of the book was inspired by their former romance. Over with Sophia Choi, her mission to derail Johnny and Chanel Dupree DiMera as prospective parents could bring issues. Days spoilers say Sophia's sabotage efforts will certainly lead to some adoption hurdles. Johnny could face accusations about having an affair with his student, thanks to some scandalous Holly Jonas photos. So we'll bring you updates on any bogus info that might go public. Sophia's goal will be to make Johnny look like an unfit father candidate, blow up his stable marriage, and ruin whatever's left of Holly's bond with Tate Black. Across town, Days spoilers say Rachel's behavior at school could lead to some surprises too. It's clear that Rachel hasn't been doing well since Kristen DiMera went to prison, so she could harm her pregnant teacher, Mrs. Brody, or even someone else. Regardless, Kristen's risky tendencies will come out to play and leave Rachel going off the rails at some point. Rachel is E.J. DiMera's real shooter, so she may face a memory trigger that'll affect her sooner or later. Days of Our Lives spoilers say the week of September 29th, October 3rd will bring some highs and lows all over Salem. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, September 25th reveal that Sophia Choi will spike Holly Jonas' drink before a blackout strikes Salem. Marlena Evans will also end up unconscious, so here's what Days viewers will see next. In Holly and Ariana Ari Horton's dorm room, Sophia will cause problems with her presence. However, Sophia will have a goal in mind during this visit since Holly will become a pawn in her latest game. Days spoilers say Sophia will score a moment alone with Holly's drink, so she'll spike it and prepare to wreak more havoc. Holly will fall into a deep slumber quickly thanks to whatever Sophia puts in her cup, so the schemer will be pleased. A blackout will plunge Salem into the dark, so Ari will let Sophia stick around while they wait for the lights to come back on. That'll work out well for Sophia, who'll score another private moment to stir up some mischief. Sophia will position Holly so that her sleeping attire looks a bit more seductive and will snap pics with the camera on her phone. It looks like Sophia may send those pics to Johnny DiMera, along with some sizzling messages. Sophia may try to make it seem like Professor DiMera is having an affair with his student, since Holly used to have a huge crush on Johnny once upon a time. Whatever the case, Sophia will indeed make trouble for Johnny and Chanel Dupree DiMera, in addition to Holly. While Chad DiMera and Kat Green intensify their romantic connection, Sarah Horton Kyriakis will try to convince Xander to put the past to rest. Xander and Sarah won't be able to resist getting swept up in old feelings for each other, feelings that never truly went away. This blackout will add to the romantic mood somehow, so Sarah will kiss Xander and perhaps make it clear she's ready for passion. As for Belle Black and E.J. DiMera, they'll become the next elevator victims since they'll be inside when the blackout strikes. Belle will wind up blasting EJ for his previous treatment of her, so they'll do some clashing on Thursday's Days show. At the townhouse, Marlena will find herself unconscious. Duel fans will see Marlena collapse and perhaps have another Queen of the Night memory in the midst of all this. Days of Our Lives, spoilers say Marlena will get hospitalized again soon, so stay tuned for updates on any unsettling news to come. Foster's still around. He congratulates Abe on passing the tutor training, and Julie already has someone ready to go for him to help. Julie then offers the book club for his tutoring sessions, since she just became the new owner today. Abe congratulates Julie and heads over to the pub. Julie checks in with how Foster's feeling, who admits his house hasn't settled, so he's not moving to California just yet. Out of nowhere, he gets weak, has to sit and falls over, clutching his head. Theo and Paulina start lunch in the pub without Abe. Theo takes the chance to ask Paulina her thoughts on his being offered an executive position at Demera. Paulina thinks it's great, but Theo knows his dad and mom never wanted him to have anything to do with the family business. Paulina still insists it'll be just fine since only the good Demera will be involved, Tony. Plus, Theo could change Dimera instead of the other way around. Abe shows up just then, but before Paulina can fill him in, Theo stops her, so she turns the conversation to Abe's tutoring. Abe tells Theo he may know the troubled youth since they graduated the same year, and Theo does know Liam Saleko. He tormented Theo in school. It's how he learned to stand up for himself and fight his own battles. Abe, of course, is proud of his son, while Paulina tells her husband to find someone else to tutor. Abe flat out refuses. This kid needs help. He asks his son's permission to help him and promises to find out more info about the possibly dangerous guy from Belle. Kayla's helping Stephanie pack when her daughter admits she's a bit scared taking the step, what with her bad track record with guys. Kayla insists Steph and Alex love each other and no relationships take work. Stephanie's cover is almost blown when Kayla spots a paper about a blog tour for Anastasia Sands, but Stephanie spins a yarn about her being a client, which Kayla buys. Whew! They then head into the hospital for work, only to find Julie pacing nervously after bringing Foster in. Kayla, naturally, takes over his care, because why hire other doctors? Foster had a hypertension crisis. Also, she sees he has chronic kidney disease, but never followed up. He doesn't want to do dialysis, but Kayla talks over some medication options instead. Afterwards, she fills Julie in on the basics and says Foster's son is coming from California. Stephanie offers to stay with Julie until she can go in to see Foster. That, and she needs Julie's help. Julie's happy to learn about the Tom Horton Clinic, but doubts EJ's motives. Eventually, Stephanie convinces her this could be good, and she needs Julie to summon the entire Horton clan for the gala. Chanel and Johnny are baby-proofing the apartment for the social worker check tomorrow. They are absolutely certain they're getting baby T, within weeks, if not days. Then they get down to finishing the paperwork, and Johnny gets freaked out a bit by his work history, or lack of it. But Chanel smooths things out and reassures Johnny, only for them to realize they still need a crib. Sophia, meanwhile, rushes into Melinda's office with a new problem, and Trask's exasperated sigh, and "what now?" is perfect. Johnny and Chanel are about to adopt the fire station baby, and Sophia's got crazy eyes, as declares that they will not get him. Melinda insists that Chanel and Johnny could be good parents, and catches on fast that Sophia's also worried about Tesoro being too close. But she gave the baby up, so she doesn't get a say. "The hell I don't!" Sophia yells. Okay, she's going off the deep end fast. Melinda tells Sophia that she needs to move on. But Trask looks taken aback when Sophia switches from anger to pleading and agrees to try helping. Sophia wants Johnny punished for making her life spiral out of control. Trask clearly recognizes crazy when she sees it and warns Sophia to not do anything rash. Sophia doesn't have anything rash planned, just making Johnny wish he was dead. Guess the style change wasn't Sophia going back to schemer, but full-on villain. Abe leaves the table just long enough for Paulina to promise a concerned Theo that she won't say anything to her husband. Kayla advises Foster not to get on a plane until they have a handle on his blood pressure. Julie says her grandfather would be so happy to have his life's work honored like this. Plus, there's already a Horton coming home next week. Jeremy! Wait, Julie realizes. Didn't they used to date? Stephanie freezes. Chanel and Johnny are glowing in the square about the adoption after buying baby stuff, while Sophia watches from the shadows. Well, from a bench. She just glares the couple down as they hug. It's official as of Wednesday's Days of Our Lives episode. Jeremy Horton is coming back. Next week, no less. Julie just filled an understandably horrified Stephanie in on the news, seemingly oblivious as to what her cousin did to Steph. We've been expecting his return for a little while, but if you're wondering why Stephanie seems so darn unhappy to hear that her ex is coming back, we've got you covered. Jeremy was one of the more troubled Hortons, which isn't exactly a huge surprise since the deck seemed stacked against him from the start. He was born off-screen in 1987 after Robin Jacobs left Salem, never telling one-time Beau Mike Horton that she was pregnant with their child. By the time she returned a year later with their son, Mike had already moved on. So Robin left Salem once again with Jeremy. He then wasn't seen until Trevor Donovan brought him home, all grown up, in 2007. And he was already dating Stephanie. They'd met while she was racing in Daytona, and Steph introduced him around town and asked her friends to invest in his private airline service, Touch the Sky Airlines. Ostensibly, it was meant to ferry the rich from Salem to Las Vegas, but in reality, it was a front for the DiMeras to smuggle merchandise. As if that wasn't bad enough, Jeremy had serious anger issues, was abusive towards Stephanie, and had been convicted of everything from fraud to shoplifting. Eventually, the smuggling scheme was uncovered, but while the DiMeras got off with a slap on the wrist, Jeremy had to go on the run to stay ahead of the law. At the time, he seemed to want to set his life right, but we haven't seen him since. Jeremy isn't mentioned all that much, and the last time was back at Jada's bachelorette party, where Stephanie admitted to him being one of her big regrets. And now this. Does that mean he could be on the way back soon? Maybe, especially since we know Mike himself will be back after watching Days of Our Lives' summer preview. Mike's son is one of the more problematic Hortons, but perhaps, like Julie's brother Steven, he could return some with the news that he really has turned his life around. Though that's not to say he and Stephanie should try getting back together. She's clearly still traumatized by their relationship, but Salem is the town of second chances. We're guessing he was the figure we saw outside Stephanie and Alex's apartments on Friday. But whether he was stalking her, there to confront her, or just stopping in to say hi isn't clear yet. Let's just hope this time around he's become a much better person. Then again, there's still that Season 60 teaser video that gave us a taste of violence and mayhem around what seems to be Halloween. We've been wondering who could be waving a knife around, and if Jeremy's back and more unstable than ever, we may get our answer. Days of Our Lives spoilers tease that JJ Devereaux may have a new shooter oopsie on the horizon. Theo Carver is worried about JJ being back on the force, and this could be a huge foreshadowing. Duel fans know that JJ unfortunately shot Theo when he thought he was armed and dangerous. Luckily, good-hearted Theo ultimately forgave JJ and the guys buried the hatchet. Now that fateful time is coming back to Theo because he's got an eye full of JJ with a badge and a gun. PTSD is a powerful thing, as Theo is about to find out. Theo has done his best to deal with PTSD and is not a fan of JJ being back on the Salem PD. This leads to Theo going to Jada Hunter's office to tell her of how he feels. What can Jada do, however? In this situation, she is limited. Jada definitely empathizes with Theo. She knows that JJ's detective acumen is exceptional, and she has no cause to fire him. After all, what JJ did happened years ago. He was a rookie and sadly made what could have been a deadly mistake. Then again, Theo shouldn't have been lurking. Soaps usually don't spend valuable airtime having characters discuss things that won't happen. In this case, it makes us wonder if the show is foreshadowing an event in which JJ once again gets an itchy trigger finger. Is Jada overconfident when it comes to JJ's skills? She is expecting a lot of him, and rightfully so. Juicy Duel spoilers hint that JJ may find himself in another situation where he has to act before thinking things through. If JJ makes a similar mistake, this could haunt him and affect his overall mental health. No one wants to be the reason another person is fighting for their life in the hospital. Theo's reaction to JJ's return to the Salem PD may be a huge signal of things to come. Dual spoilers indicate that Theo perseverates on his concern, which may mean he's onto to something. We will keep you updated on all developments adjacent to this potential plot point. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Days of Our Lives right now. Come back here often for the hottest Dual updates, news, and spoilers. Get comfortable and gain access to the best soap intel on the web, Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Wednesday, September 24th, imply some interesting moments in the land of Salem. A couple is optimistic of their future, while a young man needs some career encouragement. And someone can sense their loved one is nervous. Time to talk about what fans should expect from Tuesday's show. Nisul. Johnny DiMera and Chanel DiMera, that's because Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday, September 24th. Hint, the two will be excited about their pending and potential adoption of Tesoro. With that said, will something come crashing down to stop this? Sophia Choi didn't look too pleased during the Monday, September 22nd episode when she found out the couple wanted to adopt the fire station drop-off baby. Tesoro is her child, and Janelle was originally supposed to adopt him until Johnny backed out of the deal and flipped Sophia's world upside down. In fact, she wouldn't be going through the drama she is in now had Janelle just adopted her baby in the first place. So, is this the calm before the storm for Johnny and Chanel? Across town, Paulina Price will encourage her stepson, Theo Carver, to work for DiMera. Does Paulina have an ulterior motive, or does she just want Theo to take advantage of his family roots to ensure he enjoys a successful career? In other news, Julie Williams will support bookstore owner Foster. Read this, Days of Our Lives. Spoilers, Xander and Sarah's vow renewal blows up. Attempt to save marriage. Doomed? Lastly, Days of Our Lives spoilers for Wednesday note that Stephanie Johnson will be nervous, and her mom, Kayla Johnson, will take notice. Is this nervousness stemming from her work at the hospital with E.J. DiMera, or is this nervousness regarding her relationship with Alex Kyriakis? Then again, it may be about her book, One Stormy Night, and people finding out she wrote it. What storyline are you most looking forward to during Wednesday's show? Share your thoughts. Tune into the Peacock Soap Daily and check out SOS often for the best Days of Our Lives updates, spoilers, and news. Days of Our Lives, spoilers for Thursday, September 25th, reunite Belle and EJ so that she can yell at him some more. We sincerely hope this isn't what causes Marlena to pass out. Belle dumped EJ over his behavior during Johnny's trial, and they haven't really crossed paths since. But we know those two have unfinished business. There is still a ton of chemistry there, not to mention romantic potential. Belle knows it too, which is why she has to remind herself about how much she hates EJ every time she sees him. This will be yet another of those times. Sarah also needs to keep reminding herself that she no longer trusts Xander. She does, however, admit that she still loves him, which is why she was intrigued by Marlena's proposal for both of them to attend marriage counseling. Sarah suggests it to Xander. Is his reply what makes Marlena faint? Or is Sarah just not a very good doctor and she still can't figure out what's wrong with her friend? Sophia made it very clear to Johnny that he and Chanel backing out of adopting her baby pretty much ruined her life. We hoped that would mean she's planning to take her revenge on the couple who, like in The Great Gatsby, are careless people. They smashed up things and creatures and then retreated back into their money or their vast carelessness. Is keeping them from adopting the baby they should have accepted in the first place only Sophia's first step? Chad told Kat he's tired of them hiding their relationship, but he's not exactly ready to go too public either. So they take half a step. Let's see who in Salem gets upset over it first. Days of Our Lives spoilers photos for the September 25th, 2025 episode tease Sophia's latest plot against Holly. When Sophia shows up at Holly and Ari's dorm, she sneakily causes a whole new level of chaos for her arch-nemesis. Holly and Ari do some research. Sophia arrives at their dorm room. Sophia sneakily pours something in Holly's cup. Once Sophia leaves, Ari gives Holly her drink. Later, Sophia snaps pictures of a passed-out Holly. When Holly wakes up, she lashes out at Sophia. Days of Our Lives fans, know Al Calderon as Javi, who is currently still appearing in episodes of the soap thanks to its 9-month filming schedule. But as the story of Javi has deepened, when it was revealed that he once had a child who died, Calderon switched gears for a different kind of drama. The actor joined NBC's primetime medical drama Brilliant Minds as a series regular, and he gave fans their first glimpse of what's ahead through a new social media post. On Instagram, Calderon shared his excitement about stepping into his new role, writing, "Can't wait for y'all to meet Nurse Nico Silva. Here's a teeny first look at Season 2 of Brilliant Minds arriving on September 22nd on @NBC. Honored is an understatement to describe how I feel to be joining this cast. Brilliant Minds is such a beautifully crafted piece of storytelling, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. Brilliant Minds follows unconventional neurologist Dr. Oliver Wolf, played by Zachary Quinto, and his cases at Bronx General Hospital. The series, inspired by the work of real-life neurologist Dr. Oliver Sacks, also features Teddy Sears as Dr. Josh Nichols, Wolf's complicated love interest. Now, Calderon will bring some new energy to the team as Nurse Nico Silva, a character described as the mayor of Bronx General. Calderon's post drew an outpouring of love and support. Days co-star Cherie Jimenez commented, "Mi estrella," while Paul Telfer cheered Calderon with, "Yes, Al!" One fan cheered, "I loved you on Days of Our Lives and look forward to seeing you on Brilliant Minds." Another called it, "A wonderful show. Congratulations, Al." Others echoed the excitement with messages like, "Congrats, brother. This is amazing," and "Love this show. So excited you're going to be on it." And one follower simply posted, while another shouted, "Yes, team, Nurse Nico." On the September 24th episode of Days of Our Lives, Abe told Paulina and Theo that he was mentoring a young man named Liam. Theo wasn't happy because Liam used to tease him in high school. Paulina wasn't happy because he was a criminal. We, however, were happy because we sensed a new leading man coming to Salem. Abe explained that young Liam was raised in foster care, as his parents were in prison for most of his childhood. He then said that he graduated from Salem High but is functionally illiterate. Paulina was shocked. Shocked! Someone should do something about that. Pronto! Paulina doesn't want Abe working with a criminal either. Who does she think needs mentoring? Successful people who already have their lives together? We hope Liam doesn't have his life together. Not only because messy characters are more interesting on soaps, but because Ari is doing nothing more these days than listening to Sophia and Holly, taking turns airing their woes to her. And she deserves to have a love life. And, with Doug, Ari has already demonstrated that she likes the bad boys. We've commented before about how Salem's teen scene is girl-heavy, especially if the show keeps insisting that Aaron is a nerd and thus not romantic material. We've got Sophia and Holly obsessing over Tate, who keeps waffling. Not an attractive quality. Liam would be a good potential addition. And if he pulls Theo in too, now we have a party. Sure, Theo's previous girlfriend, Kiara, is now a married mother of 2. But she's out of town, so we can pretend Theo is younger. And so is his high school nemesis. Jean-Paul Lavoisier has left his mark on daytime television with memorable turns on both One Life to Live as Rex and Days of Our Lives as Philip. He has become a familiar face in the soap world. Check out these 5 fast facts you may not have known. Lavoisier was born John-Paul Saponsky on March 12th in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. After high school, he moved to Center City, Philadelphia to study jazz performance at the University of the Arts. His hometown is where they filmed the 1958 sci-fi film, The Blob. Almost as soon as Lavoisier arrived in New York City, he hit the ground running, landing student films, print ads, extra work that earned him his union card, small theater productions, infomercials, and even a romance novel cover. While chasing his acting dreams, he kept the bills paid by waiting tables at the legendary Russian Tea Room. He began his acting career playing a model on Sex and the City and an orderly on All My Children before auditioning for OLTL 5 times, eventually being hired to play Rex Balsam in 2002. He stayed with the show until 2012 and then moved to the West Coast. From 2015 to 2016, John Paul stepped into the role of Philip Kyriakis on Duel. He briefly returned in 2023 before making a bigger comeback with a longer run that officially began in 2024. To cement his stud status, he appeared in a photo shoot with fellow soap hunks from OLTL, David Fumero, David Gregory, and Nick Roebuck, AMC's Trent Garrett and Jordy, Villasuso and General Hospital's Brandon Barash and Chad Duell. John Paul played Benjamin Keene in the film Home is Where the Killer Is, which aired on the CW and can now be found on Netflix. Lavoisier, Duel's Brandon Beamer, Nadia Bjorlin, Galen Gerang, along with GH's Kelly Monaco and Kirsten Storms, starred in the series Dirty Soap, which ran on E! And followed a group of soap opera actors who are dealing with their own real-life drama. The show only aired for one season in 2011. John Paul and his on-screen mother, Eileen Kristen, appeared on an episode of the gamer show Street Smarts. Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, September 25th, 2025. When Salemites get caught in the dark, anything can happen. Belle and EJ take a cue from Chad and Kat and get stuck in the hospital elevator together. The pair has barely spoken since Johnny's trial, which blew up their entire relationship. When they end up in close quarters together, will one thing lead to another? Xander and Sarah also end up together as the Blackout begins. Sarah has had hope for her marriage ever since Philip was adamant that Xander was not the one who attacked him, but can he get to a place of forgiveness when he knows he actually is guilty? Marlena has her own interesting evening when the lights go out at home and she passes out. Marlena has been having a hard time since John died and is still worried about her soul. Sarah can't find anything wrong with Marlena's body, so it's possible her symptoms are in her head, or otherworldly, as tends to often happen in Salem. Sophia is determined to make sure that Johnny and Chanel do not end up adopting her baby, and takes steps to get revenge on her film professor. She is not thinking of Chanel or the baby and is acting out of anger. When she makes it to the dorm, she has a run-in with Ari in the hall, where they discuss the Tate situation. Ari just wants her two best friends to get along. So is that why she invites Sophia into her and Holly's dorm room? While there, Sophia plays a dirty trick and pours booze into Holly's red Solo cup, causing Holly to get sick and pass out. She then makes sure to take photos of Holly in a compromising position. Is this all a plot to get Holly kicked out of college for underage drinking in the dorms? Sophia will clearly stop at nothing to land Tate. Here are your Days of Our Lives photo spoilers for Friday, September 25th, 2025. Sophia reaches a new low when she decides to take matters into her own hands to get what she wants. And what she wants is for Johnny and Chanel to lose their chance to adopt her son. But she also wants Tate. In fact, her life is the mess that it is, because she has always wanted Tate when he has always wanted Holly. When Sophia ends up in Ari and Holly's dorm room when the blackout begins, she takes full advantage of the situation and makes sure to get Holly drunk. Holly has no idea what has hit her when she starts feeling sick. She has no idea how much alcohol she has really had and can't imagine why she feels that way. After Holly passes out, Sophia snaps pics of Holly with booze all around her. This is a no-no in a freshman dorm room, so it looks like Sophia's plan is to get Holly kicked out of Salem U before the semester has even gotten started. Some best friend she turned out to be. Holly and Sophia have another argument about Tate, in which Sophia will put on her innocent act. Too bad for Sophia that Holly is not falling for it. She knows Sophia's game and is furious. Sophia is on a tear this week as she goes after Polina, Johnny, and Chanel. But she can't leave Holly out of her path of destruction, so she pours booze into Holly's red Solo cup, knowing what could happen next. Ari and Holly have no idea what's coming when Ari hands Holly an innocent drink. Sophia has already done her dirty work to destroy an unsuspecting Holly. All the girls want to do is enjoy college life, but also not get in trouble. Sophia feigns innocence and shock when Holly has a little too much to drink and needs to lie down. Days of Our Lives Holly has no idea what hit her, but at least Ari gets her into a robe and into bed to sleep it off. Sophia snaps pics of a passed-out Holly during the blackout with plans to ruin Holly's life. Welcome to Days of Our Lives Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. We're not sure if we were supposed to feel sympathy for Days of Our Lives Sophia Choi at some point, but if we were, all of that goodwill is gone. There's nothing sympathetic about this completely immature young woman who manipulated a situation to get her best friend's boyfriend into bed, taunted her now ex-BFF with the news of her pregnancy, and just wanted to be rid of her baby so she could live the high life in college. We get that her labor went too quickly, so she had to give birth in her bedroom on her own. But if she had time to search for a YouTube tutorial, she had time to at least call an ambulance to help her out. There was also no reason to leave her baby at the firehouse when she had a loving mother ready to take care of her and the infant. And now she is on some revenge kick, blaming Johnny for all her problems in life. She's ready to throw Marlena under the bus and make sure that Johnny and Chanel don't get her baby because she is throwing a hissy fit and is mad at them. Sophia is also about to destroy Holly's college life just for kicks. So yeah, all the sympathy we have ever had for her has suddenly vanished. We can't wait for it to be revealed that Tate didn't even father her child, because no doubt that's coming. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full duel recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not. Seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is, if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Days of Our Lives gives fans what they want, as Xander Kyriakis and Sarah Horton are finally on the road to reconciliation. Xander is currently attending anger management therapy, but as Sarah considers whether couples therapy could mend their relationship, the question remains, will Xander agree? Or is his anger still too intense for him to commit to more counseling? After months of separation, things are moving towards reconciliation at a faster pace. Following their daughter Victoria's 2nd birthday party, Xander accepted Sarah's apology for pushing Philip Kyriakis to confess about his assault. Both Xander and Philip have maintained that Xander did not attack Philip, a lie that seems to be gaining traction. However, Xander may be concerned that agreeing to marriage counseling with Sarah, facilitated by Marlena Evans, could expose the truth about Philip's assault and his repeated lies to Sarah. This moment, long awaited by Zara fans, signifies a potential reconciliation, though speed bumps lie ahead. Xander was furious when Sarah lied about Philip's forged letter concerning Victor Kyriakis' estate. While Sarah had her reasons, Xander perceived it as a betrayal. The situation escalated when Sarah became convinced that Xander had severely beaten his brother Philip. We all know Philip is covering for Xander, and this protection extends both ways between the Kyriakis brothers, who have now linked themselves through lies about the forgery and the assault. Despite Xander and Philip lying directly to her, Sarah apologized for wrongly accusing Xander. Viewers know that Xander and Philip are lying and gaslighting Sarah, as Xander is indeed guilty of attacking Philip. Now, in a position where she must accept Xander's supposed innocence, Sarah has been observed warming up to her estranged husband. She's been impressed by the progress Xander has made in his anger management therapy with Marlena, and senses a change in him. Despite the immense stress from the DiMera lawsuit hanging over Titan, Xander is utilizing the breathing techniques Marlena taught him, actively managing his anger and resisting the urge to rage, demonstrating significant growth. Sarah had initially insisted on anger management for Xander, concerned his temper could negatively impact Victoria's life on Days of Our Lives. Not due to direct danger, but as a poor example of emotional volatility. Marlena's therapy appears effective for Xander. The crucial question now is how Xander will react when Sarah proposes couples counseling with Marlena. Will he be open to it, potentially reuniting their family, or could it exacerbate their issues? Both Xander and Sarah continue to wear their wedding rings, and Sarah was hesitant when Marlena inquired about Xander joining couples therapy. Their rings suggest lingering love and a potential path forward. Sarah is eager for couples therapy. But Xander's agreement is essential. This could be beneficial for both, as they both felt betrayed by the other. The primary obstacle remains Xander's continued deception about assaulting Philip, a lie his brother is also perpetuating. However, a reliable source indicates that Philip will play a crucial role in reuniting Xander and Sarah. Their shared lie about the assault has, ironically, helped Xander receive an apology from Sarah for her false accusation. This could, however, become a significant hindrance if the truth ever surfaces, though it's possible Xander and Philip might take this secret to their graves. Our source recently confirmed that Xander is considering couples therapy and will provide Sarah with an answer by the end of the week. The answer could be a simple yes, or he might agree with the condition that the Philip assault incident is not discussed in therapy. If Xander refuses couples counseling, it's likely due to the lie he's hiding. Sarah would be deeply hurt and angry, realizing she was right all along, if she discovers Xander lied about beating Philip. For a true fresh start, Xander needs to be open and honest with Sarah, as dishonesty and betrayal were the root causes of their separation. The central question remains, will Xander admit to brutally attacking his brother Philip? Kate Roberts would undoubtedly welcome further legal repercussions for Xander. However, after his arrest, charges were dropped when Philip claimed a random stranger assaulted him, a story that initially angered Kate and Sarah. Until recently, Sarah believed Xander was guilty, but she has since been convinced otherwise. It's doubtful anyone will sway Kate's opinion. If they proceed with couples counseling, will Xander confess? Or will the assault be the reason he avoids therapy for now? Regardless, Philip is unlikely to press charges, despite what Kate and Sarah might say. For Sarah, the issue isn't Xander's potential arrest, but whether he committed the act and if he has been lying to her face after feeling betrayed by her own deception. It's a complex situation, but our source assures us Philip will actively assist in mending their marriage, with Zara expected to reunite by the holidays. We'll have to wait and see if counseling, Philip's influence, or a combination of both will be the key to their reconciliation. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, September 25th reveal that Marlena Evans passes out. Meanwhile, Sophia Choi plots against Johnny DiMera and Chanel. Plus, Sarah Horton tries to persuade Xander Kyriakis, Belle Black confronts E.J. DiMera, and Chad enjoys some romance with Kat Green. Read on for Soap Opera News' full breakdown of what's coming up. Marlena's health has been a thing for a while now. The doctors keep coming up empty, saying there's nothing wrong, but the symptoms haven't stopped. So something is clearly up. But maybe it's not a physical issue at all. This is Marlena we're talking about. She's been possessed by the devil, and not once,